Jerry Heller. You know, if y'all don't know him, he was the founder of NWA. So we're gonna get into that. Not the founder, but he managed it. Yeah, he managed it. Nah, I
give him that much credit.
Yeah, let me correct myself.
He managed to rob them.
He managed to rob them, right? You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into the death of him. You know, Georgetown made a big announcement this past week, so we're gonna get into that. You know, it may be a major player from the South talking about retirement. You know, a rapper, Southern rapper. We're gonna get into that. Let y'all know who that is. We're gonna give it away right now. You guys keep it tuned a lot on these airways from 1 to 4 p.m. So we're gonna get into that. We got a guest coming through. You know what I mean? Local product, Caribbean brother, Gordon Andres. He got this hot track called "Free Up." You know what I mean? They playing that on the main stations out here in New York. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna chop it up with that brother. Shout out to his manager, Busy. You know what I mean? Busy Boogie Biz. That's her name. You know what I mean? She's been up here before with our homeboy Ozzy Virus. So we're gonna be up here talking with them. That's the guest today. But you know, we got a lot going on today, man. We played some fine tunes, man. Bont opened it up with some real official tracks. You know what I mean? What's some of the tracks you played, man?
You know, I try, man. I try. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it in the loop. I just want people to know all the talent that came through here. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on our show. We get the best artists, believe me.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, you know, and then we're going to be playing, you can sprinkle some more tunes for y'all to make sure y'all keep it locked, man. Y'all want to hear some good music, some good talk. You know what I mean? It's a real official interview. All that's going down within these next 2.5 hours. So, you know, just rock with us. But, you know, where we start the show off for how the week went. We're going to start it off with the brother rocking the Born Official Family Face Limited. Straw hat. He ain't looking real green. I told him he ain't looking like new money. You know what I mean? Big Mont, how's your week, brother?
My week was good, man. My week was good. Slow. I ain't do much. Walked my nephew's first day of school.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was stupid. Not to walk into school, but why are you going to start school on a Thursday before a 3-day weekend?
I know.
It's like, what are you doing?
Hipster started the next day. They started on Friday.
Why? I was like, by the time he get back to school, because you know he in junior high now. So, you know, he got 8 different classes. He used to go in like 1, 2 classes. I was like, by the time he go back, he's going to forget all the classes he had. But he said he liked it. He said he's taking that point guard spot. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
You know, like I said, it was slow, man. I ain't do much. Just kept it local.
No doubt.
That's funny, too. I remember when we first started switching classes from high school, from grade school going to junior high school.
Right.
We used to think it was going to be like Saved by the Bell, remember? You know, that was one of the highlights, man. Looking at switching the lockers and everything, going to your locker. We thought that was cool, man. Lo and behold, it wasn't that cool when we got there. But it is what it is, man. But they give you like 3 minutes to switch and get to the next class.
Well, in high school, they get 4. I don't remember what they get. You know how long ago it's been since I was in junior high? It was like 30-something years ago, man.
Then I used to forget my locker number. Not the number, but the combination.
I only went to my locker once a year when I was in high school. Yeah. I only went to my locker once a year, first day of school.
Wow.
It
was way in the back of the school by the shop. And all my other classes on the other side of the school. So I just used to carry all my books with me.
Okay.
I ain't going to my locker neither. Like
no?
Nah, I wasn't that type of person, man.
My shit.
Well,
yeah.
No, that wasn't me. I used because I played on the baseball team, so we had a sports locker. I used to go to my sports locker more, and I went to my regular locker because after class and for gym and stuff like that, I would keep my gym stuff in there and switch like that. But I never really was heavy on my other locker because I would forget my books and stuff. I was always that type of person that forgets stuff. Forget a book in the locker I needed for homework. Yeah, I had to walk back up to the school. And I used to watch a lot of horror movies, man. And if you know horror movies back in the 80s, that's what stuff used to go down. Somebody forget they locking in, the janitor being there, you get locked in school.
Exactly.
And then the killer chasing you around, so I ain't like that.
Well,
yeah, well.
How's your week, Vic?
Hey, man, my week was straight, you know. I was actually caught up on Narcos, man.
Yeah, he's telling me about that.
Yo, man, me and Mott was actually going to speak about that, man. That's one of the best shows out, kid.
Right talking about
it is.
Yo, Pablo Escobar.
He is no joke.
Son.
He had his own jail. This thing had his own
jail.
Yeah, hookers in there, anything. What?
They got the roulette.
They had video games, all kinds of shit.
And then he picked the people that they put in jail.
Yeah.
He got everybody from Medellin. That was never say Medellin or something like that, right? Yeah, he got all the people from his spot to come through. He had lawyers coming in. That cat was no joke, man.
His own jail, his own prison.
Yo, because first of all, he ran for government. He ran for president out there. Remember?
Okay. Yeah, they killed the dude, right?
Yeah. So they was putting a whole bunch of pressure on the government. You understand? And it got to the point where they tried to expedite him. They was trying to get like the U.S. people. We was trying to get them to come to the U.S. And this was around the time I think it was Reagan was the president, right? Yeah. Or Bush, one of them. Was the president Reagan, and he was putting these people and giving them the life and death penalty to some of these people that was doing the drug cartels. So he had tried to get them to come to USA and lock them up forever. So Escobar was like, nah, y'all not doing that to me. So he was like, all right, if y'all still chasing me, he started bombing like public officials and buildings,
airplanes.
Out there.
Yeah, suicide bomber.
Yo, he was killing people, kidnapping a whole bunch of people. He was like, he gonna keep this up, and the people not gonna live in peace until the president allowed him to surrender on his own terms. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna surrender, and all this stuff gonna stop. I'm gonna let y'all lock me up, but if y'all lock me up, y'all gonna lock me up in my own prison. I'm gonna get to build it. No cops allowed within 2 miles of the jail.
Yeah, trucks coming through, all kinds. He was in there chilling.
Yo,
how long was in jail?
He was growing weed.
Everything. He had barbecues.
His birthday came up. He brought his wife in there. He had chefs, soccer players coming up there playing for him. I'm like, yo, this dude.
How long was he incarcerated for?
A few years.
Yeah, it was a few years, but they dissed him because then they started sending special ops in there to try to kill him. And he had kidnapped the vice. What was it? It was kind of like the vice president. Colombia, yeah. Kidnapped him. Yo, it's crazy. I'm still on the first season because the second season came out. But I'm still on the first season. Yeah, it's out. It's on.
No, they ran up on my man though. They had a helicopter chasing him.
Yeah. They got him.
They ran him down, yo.
Yeah. Everybody talking about the show Narcos. I gotta get on Netflix later and check it out.
Yeah, now
everybody's talking about it.
It's on Fusion now too.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So part 2, the second season came out. But also I was looking at some YouTube videos. Y'all know me. I get into these YouTube videos. And yesterday I was looking at this nonsense, man. And 2 Chainz, it was like a couple years ago, he had did an interview where he was joking and saying that he joined the Illuminati. Right? So people started talking all this nonsense saying that, oh, he's in the Illuminati, this, that, and the third. So he did an interview saying that he don't believe that there's a true Illuminati. He thinks that like in the last 10 years, a lot of the people that started producing the videos, they're basically they're looking at this stuff, seeing what draws attention, and Illuminati is a topic that people into. So they put these symbols in there, but they're not really into it.
Yeah.
You understand? So last night I had posted something on my Instagram and I took it right down because it was talking about religion. You understand? And I realized that when you talk about certain things, it takes away from your fan base.
Right.
You know, so I had a little internal struggle with myself. And I'm like, should I talk about what excites me? Or should I just keep it political? You understand? And we're going to get into a topic about that with Kaepernick, the whole Kaepernick situation. It's about, all right, you know, are you going to do what you feel is true to you, or are you going to do what you think people are going to like? So I decided, I grew up in the era where, you know, we in the blackness, you understand? And if you stop what you feeling and stop what you're saying just because you feel that people not gonna like it, then basically you selling out.
Right.
So I can't sell out. So I gotta mention it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's about the Illuminati. Now, this is what it is. I'll let y'all know already. We always have these conversations. I do not believe in the spirit world.
Right.
You understand? I don't believe that there's nothing out there but the physical.
Right.
Until somebody can prove that there's anything else outside of that affects the world that we live in, besides the physical world, I'll believe it. But until this point right now, there has not been one credible experiment to ever show that. There hasn't been anything to show that something outside of the physical world can cause something to happen in the physical world. So people talk about all these spirits and God and Jesus and all of this other nonsense. I can't believe it because it hasn't been demonstrated. You understand?
Yo, he got so mad when they were getting off the bus in front of the church on the way in.
We could talk about that later, man. You know, But yeah, so I can't do it. So I'm listening to these Illuminati people speak, man. Now, they talk about all these signs being Illuminati signs and signs of the devil. Listen, this lets you know that a lot of these people that are into certain religious sects, they don't study history. Because if you study history, you will understand the reason why in Christianity and Judaism, that a lot of these symbols and signs are looked down upon. Because these are symbols and signs of religions that were ancient before any person even heard of a Jewish person. So when people talk about the Eye of Horus, or they do the Illuminati sign with just the eye, they call it the Illuminati sign. You got to realize the cult of Horus and all these people came out thousands of years before we knew of anything associated with Yahweh. You understand? So Yahweh, and let's be real, in the history of the world, there has only been about two people, I think, that ever heard God speak. I think it was Abraham and Moses. Yeah. These are the only two people who supposedly heard Jesus speak. You understand? I mean, God speak, right? Right. Now what makes more sense? These two people making up a story and like basically going out and taking over other people's land off of what they said that they saw, or an actual God who created every single thing, who didn't have to make none of this stuff. He could have made a perfect world. Yeah. Technically, he could make a perfect world. He could supposedly create everything out of nothing, but he had to abide by making evil forces and stuff like this. What makes more sense? A God that can create a perfect world, but didn't, or two crazy people who say that they heard a voice in the wilderness after fasting for 40 days, not eating, going crazy, and saying that God told them to do this. What makes more sense? That or a perfect God that could create all of this stuff, but didn't? You understand what I'm saying?
I follow, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, back to my point. These people didn't want their people following the other religions because they were older and they actually lived in these lands. You know what I mean? Jewish people weren't the first people around. People were living in Canaan. There were people living there that had different religions and everything. So Moses and Abraham and these people came over there and said, our God promised us this land. So we're going to go over here and take this land from them people. So in actuality, what they did was they made all of their gods that these people were praising look bad, and they demonized them and made them seem like they were such bad people. Now, when you look at these videos now, when you look at the Eye of Horus and all of this so-called Illuminati symbols, these are just relics of old religions. You understand what I'm saying? And they saying that these are demonic signs. But how are they demonic signs? If, you're basing it off of what Abraham and Moses said. Who's to say that what they said was right? We're going off of what they said. Right. You understand what I'm saying? That don't necessarily make it right. That's why when people talk about all this Illuminati stuff, these people may believe in the demonic stuff, but they're not, channeling demons to come into the studio and making contacts with the devil and selling souls. That's a little bit too far. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't understand, it don't make sense to me. Why would these people care about turning you against Jesus in the Bible? Why would that matter to them?
That's how your week went?
Yeah, because I was looking at these stories.
Because he posted something on the gram, but he said he took it down. Yeah. But basically, he got to stay true to himself.
Well, he's real passionate.
And still talk about it.
Nah, you got to be, man. Because if you're not searching for the truth and life and in the real world, then actually, what are you doing? Like I said, once I have children and things like that, I know my life is gonna change because everybody that I see, once they have children, their life switch. That's what their life become about, and I'm all for that. You know what I mean? Because I think that we're here for that. I think, and also, I hate to bring it back, but I go against religion, but I'm actually not against religion. I think religion is an excellent thing. If you could draw your morals and you're a good person and you do good things off of that, then I'm all for that. And I truly, truly, honestly believe that Christianity, Islam, and all of these other religions are just a basic progression from the original African religions. Like we see things in nature. You understand, like the rising of the sun and stuff like that. Right. I think that, in Africa, they tell stories, like they look at this type of stuff and they'll tell stories so that the kids can learn stuff about nature. And nature can teach us about the real world and morals and everything, because in nature is all a balance. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's how religion started. We looked at the natural world and we came up with stories to explain this stuff. And I just think that somewhere down the line, we made these things actual. So now instead of studying the principles of like an Adam and Eve, which I think the stories are allegorical. I don't think there actually was an Adam and Eve. or actually was a Moses, or actually was, original sin. I don't believe that those are actual concepts. I think these are concepts that were basically meant to basically talk about spiritual truths, or truths of like morality. So in that sense, they are true. You understand what I'm saying? But I think we took it too far by trying to say that these stories actually happen. And I think that's what people, and I think that's where we kind of get mixed up. You know what I mean? Like Jesus' story. Like, I believe there was a historical Jesus, but I don't believe the miracles that happened. I don't believe that somebody rose from the dead. You understand? I don't believe in that stuff. But I do believe there was a great preacher, you understand, that was radical, that was trying to teach people to not accept the way that things are going. If you see things, speak out against it that you don't believe in. So in that sense, I bring Jesus into my life for that. So when I say that, I do accept Jesus Christ. I don't accept him as a savior, as being the son of God, because I don't believe that there is a God. But his story, I can see a lot from it, and I can take that and put it into my life and actually become a better person. And if you're teaching your children that, I have no issue with that. You can learn a lot from the life of Jesus Christ. You understand what I'm saying?
What about the walking on the water?
Nah, come on. I'm not walking on the water.
I advise the plan to do that.
Yeah.
Inflatable shoes.
True. I mean, it's a possibility. But at the same time, even with that, like, the story to that with the with the miracles, basically it's telling you, the deeper issue is they're telling you that, all right, you got to give up your worldly possession, because that's the whole thing about Jesus. That was his one of the main guiding stories with him. One of the main issues was that you have to give up your worldly issues. You can't serve two gods. You can't love earth and also serve God at the same time. Right. You understand? Because if you do, you're not going to want to leave. You're not going to want to give everything up and just serve God. Like, say if I got a big ass mansion, you understand what I'm saying? I'm living well, I'm eating well. I'm not going to want to give that up and and basically serve the greater good of the people, because I'm going to be selfish. This is what I'm going to want to have. So the story is, you got to give up all of that stuff. You got to give up everything. All the rules of the world right now means nothing to God, because God supposedly created it. So you got to be able to separate that and not be so into this worldly being. You know what I mean? Because the whole Christianity is, you're not your physical being. You're your spirit. You understand? So the earthly stuff is nothing. Yeah. So the story of Jesus is basically showing you that this is just an illusion. The world is just an illusion. You got to give that up if you want to actually get into heaven. You understand? So the miracles and stuff is basically just telling you that all this stuff, all our worldly problems is nothing to God. He could banish them and, it's nothing. You understand? But Christians don't really look at it like that, because our preacher's not teaching us the true definition of what's actually happening. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, some people go to church every fucking Sunday and can't tell you when the stories were created, who created them, the Old Testament. They don't know which books were in the Old Testament. So it's like basically you just feeling good about yourself. That's what all church is for some people. It's just the make you feel good about yourself. You're not really learning anything.
I think they wash away their sins that they did for the week.
Exactly. Like a lot of the people in the mob, they do kill people, sell all the drugs they want, but then they go and go to basically admit to their sins and think that God forgives them. Yeah.
Making of the mob.
Nice.
I heard of it.
Crazy.
It's official.
Yeah.
I heard of it. It's over now. The season's over.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get it though.
What channel?
It's on AMC.
Oh.
So what about you, Ace? How was your week, brother?
Week was cool. I was on vacation.
What?
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. Staycation.
Yeah.
Because the kids are out of school. They go back this week. So I had to take off to be home with them, because camp was done and everything like that. So, being with kids all week ain't no joke, man. It's a full-time job. I was working, I'm working. Yeah. Still doing shit. They want to do stuff, but I kept a low profile. Stay local with it. I ain't taking nowhere like that. I'm like, shit, school's approaching. You need sneakers and you need uniforms, and so I ain't go too crazy with them. Just took them to like the park. I'm still in the transition. I'm moving still, I'm unloading boxes and shit like that. So I just basically did, just like local things, but I ain't doing nothing too crazy. That's how my week went. It feel good to be off, but damn, boy, dealing with kids all week.
Man, I said it last week. I said, getting moving sucks.
Yeah, it definitely do.
You can never find all your stuff. Something always end up missing.
I tell you, I found my PlayStation game.
I know you did.
Yeah, I found those shit.
What you found?
My PlayStation game. The show in 2K.
Oh, all right. The new one coming out.
Yeah, 2K,
I know. On the cover. What's that about?
Because it's the anniversary. It's like a what is it? It's like an anniversary version. Yeah.
20-year anniversary from getting drafted. Then 20-year anniversary. But you just retired. So you got to pay homage to him. It's only about Cole on the cover. He's on one cover. I think Paul George on another. Paul George on a regular one. It's cool.
That's one of the hardest working men in the industry, boy. That Paul George, man.
He definitely bounced back.
He had an ugly injury.
Last summer, right?
So,
2 summers ago. Yeah, that shit was ugly. I saw it live. I was like, ooh, man, that shit make you cringe.
I was like, I'm gonna watch that. I was like, no, I'm gonna watch it. I ain't squeamish.
That shit make you cringe, man.
Yeah.
Man. And we'll be on the sports topic. NFL season is upon us.
Yes.
It is kicking off this Thursday. A rematch of the Super Bowl. It's not gonna be the same. No Peyton Manning. Yeah. He's not there. Panthers probably gonna kick their ass.
Most likely.
They get their rings that night. Denver Broncos. Kicking off Thursday night, 8:25.
What day? What Thursday? This Thursday coming
This Thursday, yeah. Which is the 8th. 8th, yeah. So the NFL season is upon us, and then the regular games proceed September 11th on Sunday, next Sunday, week 1. We're gonna give our Super Bowl prediction. We're gonna get too deep into the NFL.
That's too early,
There's so much to get into. What team you see making the biggest stride?
Man, honestly, I don't really know, man. I ain't really followed the off season like that this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'll check it out the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Then I'll be able to tell you a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Teddy Bridgewater,
he's out for the season.
Damn.
Yeah. He's out for the season. And the Eagles traded their quarterback. They traded Sam Bradford to the Vikings to Woodencore's team.
I hate them.
My man.
I freaking hate them.
Who, the Vikings?
No, the Eagles.
The Eagles.
That's my team.
I was just about to say that was your team.
That's why I hate them. Same way I hate the Knicks.
So they traded Sam Bradford for a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick. That's a lot for Bradford.
He ain't worth it.
He's not worth it. So, the Vikings are still trying to contend. So we'll see what happens with that. Mark Sanchez got cut by the Broncos.
That's my boy.
He's going to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I
looking like. He's going to the Cowboys.
How you think he'll do with the Cowboys?
Same way he did everywhere else. He's lousy.
But now let my cousin hear you say that, man.
He's lousy.
He was lousy.
He was lousy on the Eagles. He was lousy on the Jets. Broncos didn't even want him.
Yeah, Sanchez.
I want to see
what's up with T-Ball, man? What are you doing with yourself?
You're playing baseball.
He's trying out for baseball. I don't know if he might gonna pick him up.
Man, yeah, right. Baseball, one of the hardest sports there is, man.
I don't know if he might gonna pick him up. But NFL is about to kick off next week. A lot of people are happy. It is America's favorite sport right about now. So I'm rooting for the Jets. I hope they do.
Giants fan, man.
Yeah, I know back in the day. I'm rooting for the Jets though. I hope they do it right. I don't think they're gonna do
it. One game green, they playing Philly.
I used to be Eagles fans, so they got rid of Vic. Yeah, and that's how I left them alone.
Yeah, we both was.
Chip Kelly destroyed that team.
He did.
Remember what Don Nelson did to the Knicks? That's what Chip Kelly did to the Eagles.
Yeah, he did.
He just started making all kinds of
trades. He shitted on Vic. They're a mess, man. They're still paying for that shit. Chip Kelly is in San Francisco. He announced that his starting quarterback will be Blaine Gabbert over Colin Kaepernick, which brings us to our next topic, Kaepernick.
Oh, so Kaepernick lost his spot.
He lost his spot. He's the backup.
They talking about getting rid of him anyway.
Kaepernick
don't want to let him go for nothing. They want to get something back.
Right, they want to get something back, but they're not going to do anything for him.
No.
He's definitely, and he's been trending right now. He's definitely the most talked about NFL player. He took a stance on not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
No,
right? The national anthem.
That is so stupid.
He took a stand on not standing for national anthem. He wore socks that had pigs on it with the cops.
That whole thing is just stupid. I'm sorry. It really is.
How do you feel about that, Mike? Let's get to think of the person.
All right, let me just tell you how I feel about it.
All right.
I feel like I posted this on Facebook. I'll say it again. A racist is going to be a racist. Mm-hmm. Ain't no amount of awareness you can possibly do that's going to change their mind and how they think. So you just, what are you trying to prove? What are you really trying to prove? I mean, nobody's listening.
No, people listening because the people talking about it.
Yeah, people listen.
People listening.
And the same people that don't understand that Black Lives Matter, our lives still don't matter to them. No matter what you say, they're going to be like, all lives matter. No kidding. But that's not the point. They're always going to think that way. No matter what you do, no matter how many protests you have, no matter how many marches you do, they ain't going to pay you no mind. So it's like, yo, you throw a Molotov cocktail and shut the fuck up.
Listen, I understand what Kaepernick is doing. They say, what's the saying? If you don't stand for anything, you're for anything.
Yeah.
I understand that motto. Some veterans, some veterans and officials and people in the army are taking it personal, and some understand where you're coming from. I kind of understand where you're coming from, but I don't. My thing is, when is it going to stop? You know what I'm saying? When and what is it going to stop? Because cops are still going to continue. And every cop isn't a bad cop. Let's clear that for the record. Every cop isn't a bad cop, and every cop isn't a good cop.
They only take one bad one.
Right, that's true. But my thing is, when is it going to stop? There's 16 games in the season, right? You started in the preseason. All right, so when are you planning on stopping this? I mean, the cops don't kill people every day.
I got another issue.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people saying, oh, you disrespecting the military, they fight for our freedom. I respect the military. You know what I'm saying? They're brave. I wouldn't do it. But let's be 100% real. Are they really fighting for your freedom?
Right.
You going over to Iraq fighting people like they gonna come over here and take our freedom? It ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not saying they not there to protect us, but these boys has nothing to do with our freedom.
Nah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be disrespectful. I know some people want to take it the wrong way, but it's the truth.
They're protecting the country, but in a cabinet situation, you won't be able to do this in any other country.
Yeah.
You couldn't do this in Korea. You couldn't do it in China. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this in Cuba.
We couldn't do this show in Korea.
You know what I mean? So
Cuba, they disappeared. You saw that on TV?
What?
When ESPN when ESPN is down in Cuba, the dude was doing an interview, and this guy was throwing flyers right behind the dude doing the interview. Sound kind of one of them dudes. Yo, boy, you see the cops come out of nowhere, snatch him up, throw him back in his car. Never to be heard from again.
Yeah. Listen, man, that's how they give it up in some countries, man. Listen, man, how you feel about this whole cabinet thing, B?
I feel, we're in a country where a man has a right to not stand for.
He does have his right.
So, he's just, displaying his right to do that. He's exercising his right to do that. So I agree with him. And at the same time, like Mont said, no disrespect to the people who fight for our country, because we have a few family members that actually went to war. Your father went to, he didn't go to any war, but he was in the service.
In the service, right.
You understand what I'm saying? We have a friend who passed away in the war.
Right.
Remember Death Wish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
wait, his name was Death Wish?
Well, that was Leo. His name was Leo.
Right.
Leo Dumas. Y'all can search him up. He died. I think it was in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
he died in the recent war that we just had. But he was a cool brother, man. He always wanted to join the Marines. And I remember because he was actually friends with my cousin Jamie. Jamie was also in the service now. Mm-hmm. He met him online. They met online through, I forgot which game they was playing. I think it was actually one of the war games they were playing online. Yeah, Call of Duty. And they got cool. He was actually from Queens Village. And they met up at Roosevelt Field. And this was the sweetest kid, man, that you will ever meet. Haitian dude, Haitian American. And he was like just the coolest cat. Like I remember he was one of the first people I knew with an iPod. This is back in the days when iPods that first came out. He had a Mac, so he used to get all the G CDs, and he used to bribe me to take him back to Queens Village, because at the time I was living in Astoria.
Okay.
So I would drive to Astoria like, yo, B, let me get a ride. And I'm like, man, I get up the Parkway. That's all out my way. He's like, y'all got the new G Unit mixtape. So I'm like, all right, man. We listened to it on the way home. He always used to make me CDs. So I drive him home. We used to just talk and build. Yeah. And I remember he was heavy. He was overweight at the time. Remember how heavy he said he was.
Yeah, he wasn't that big though, right?
But he wasn't big like that, but he never really was like an athletic dude.
Right.
He never played sports. So he went to basic training first time and didn't pass it. So, you know, he couldn't get on because he couldn't run. He couldn't do the, you know, the stuff that they needed to do physically. So he wanted it so bad that he worked with a recruit agent. And they was working every day. He would come out and get him, got him into shape. He passed it. He actually convinced our cousin to join the Marines also.
He did.
So he did his time. He did his first tour, right? And basically made it. Came back out, and he signed up to go out there and do it again. And actually, one day he was out on patrol and he was driving the patrol car, and they ran over like a mine. And you know, he unfortunately passed away. So we definitely felt that. I remember the day that it happened. I'm just leisurely looking through the newspaper, and I see his picture on the news with his hat on. I'm like, oh, what happened to Death Wish?
Yeah.
So I looked and I read it, and I read the story that just happened. You know, and I met his mother and everything. That was like, I think he had one older brother, so I'm sure his mother felt, you know, like horrible about it. And it's crazy because our cousin was in the service also at the time, and he didn't even know about it. So his mother called him and told him, and I mean, he took it very bad, man. He basically stopped talking to the family for a couple months off of that, you know. Like, I guess he didn't know who to blame, so he felt a certain way about that. So, you know, when I say this, I'm not going against our soldiers, because I know that they have a tough and hard job. But at the same time, when the Star Spangled Banner and the national anthem and all of these things came up, it didn't include us as Black people. We didn't have rights, and we're still fighting for rights. And I understand where Kaepernick is coming from, because these cops are out here killing us. You understand? And nobody's being brought to justice for it. So with his frustration, he has to make a statement. You understand? And it's funny how people saying that Kaepernick shouldn't be doing this, but at the same time, they talk bad about the LeBrons, the other people who out here in the forefront of their sports, and they're not making any comments or not saying anything about it, or Barack Obama for not saying anything. He has a right to say what he wants to say. And if if he feel that, you know, the country is not for him and he's not going to stand for it, then I understand. You know, people tell Trump telling them to go to another country, but this is our country. We got to make things right. This is the American way of doing stuff. This is American.
And what's that blonde chick? Remember we listened to? She had some comments before. It was crazy. We listened to it on the show.
Oh yeah, remember,
she was talking all kinds of reckless again.
She was
like,
come
on. Hey, ain't you half white?
So
he never said he was half white. He never even stated his race.
He's Black.
He never stated his race.
Yeah,
he's adopted. He probably don't even know what he is.
Right.
He's mixed.
You know, go to another country, all this other crap.
My thing is, when's it gonna stop?
A citizen is a.
They're gonna
continue to do this until he stop playing in the NFL.
Well, probably not. But I think also this have a lot to do with this too. And you know, I hate attacking people because you know I don't attack the messenger. You know, we gotta look at their message. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm sure this has a lot to do with the fact that, because like you know, I hate to say it, but this other Black dude who everybody hate, Tommy Sotomayor, he made a perfect statement. He was saying that the cops were killing Black people forever. They was killing them in 2011. Well, he's a rookie in 2011, I think, right?
Yeah.
When he took them to the Super Bowl, they was killing people. Why didn't you stop then? You know what I'm saying? Why do it now?
Kaepernick is looking for some business.
Thank you.
Basically.
I think, you know, I don't like to attack the messenger, so I even
that's what it is. He's sitting on the bench. He's not the player he was 2-3 years ago when he took San Fran to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
He's basically lost his spot. You know, he's not the same player he was. I don't know if it's something physically, mentally, it could have been an injury.
He wants out.
He wants out of San Fran. Yeah,
he
wants out of San Fran. He want to be in Denver because they're looking for a starting quarterback. But and that's all. He's looking for a business. He's looking for some business, man. He's looking for a wave, which is fine, man. Listen, get out how you live. And his name is relevant.
Yeah.
His name is trending and it's relevant. Oh, you hear about Colin Kaepernick. With this whole situation that's going on with him, but not standing for the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah,
you know,
that was an actual topic on First Take a few days back. What should the NFL do about Colin Kaepernick?
What can they do? There's nothing they can do.
I mean, what should they
do? He's exercising his right as an American.
And they know that.
That's why they ain't bothered.
They know that. And listen, I understand where you're coming from.
But
my thing is, we it's what you call a race baiting at times. It ain't. The cops do kill black people a lot, but what about us killing each other? You know what I'm saying? That gotta come up too, man.
They do though. We talk about that. We talk about.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we do, but it ain't coming up like that. Dwayne Wade just lost his cousin. But they protesting?
Yeah, people they protest.
They what?
Yeah. I mean, they always have protests. You know, they have stop the violence tours. We had that in hip hop.
That was crazy too. He was actually, when his cousin got killed, he was doing an anti-gun thing.
Yeah, I'm on ESPN. Yeah.
Wow. Why is it happening?
It definitely goes down, you know. And like I always say this, man, you know, I hate to bring it up at this time, but as a people, we do definitely have to do better. We really have to do better. You know, it seems like our you know, we always like to blame the white man for everything. Mm-hmm. We say the white man doing this and the white man doing that. But you know, as a people, we do definitely have to do better. We gotta want better. We gotta try to do better. You understand? Like even in the evolution versus science debate, they say academia is white people shit. Academia is not white people stuff. Black people go to college too.
It's all right for you to learn.
Exactly. Then they say whenever you try to get educated, they say, "Oh, you're trying to be a white boy."
Yeah.
You're not trying to be a white boy. You're just trying to improve. Listen, it's like this, man, with sports and anything. All right. If all I have is a right hand in basketball, that's going to be much easier to stop. Yeah. The only way you can get better is if you educate yourself to use your left hand, educate yourself to do better, more moves. Now you have more options. You understand? And that's what education is, just giving yourself more options. We have to do that as a people, you know? And with the killing stuff, and like I said, we got to do better. Like rappers, a perfect example, rappers. Why is it that somebody who could get on the microphone and talk about selling drugs, talk about having sex with this many women, talk about making this type of money in a bad way? Why is it that these are the people that we putting on top and calling these people cool? Why is it cool to go to school? Why is it cool to have one girlfriend, marry that girl, and have a family, raise a family? Why isn't that cool? This is the type of stuff we need to make cool and start, basically letting these people start getting rich. And this is the image that we need to have as a black person, not as an ignorant person, man, because that's not our image. That's not who we are.
Listen, man, you hit the head right on the nail, man. Hit the head right on the nail.
You know? This lean shit.
Exactly. I'm about to say that. Think of it right in my mouth, man.
Niggas getting drunk with their pants all the way down.
You know what? We're about to take a quick break real quick. Speaking of lean, we're going to get into a rapper who'll be heavy in that lean. He talking about giving it up. We're gonna get, you know what I mean? We're going to give out a little take on that. Should this rapper give it up or not? Why he's doing it? He's contemplating it. You know what I mean? Listen to Luke Radio on that Yak Radio app. Ace right here.
It's your boy B Lava.
Big Mon.
We're going to come back. We're going to play a tune or two. We're going to come back and listen to what we're talking about, man. Get it.
I'm gonna keep it live going.